Happy Camp Nano. It's time. You know what it means. It means those goals that we set, we gotta get to it. We gotta start writing them. And I told a main character to start some shit. And he started some shit. We're overthinking. Stick around and watch the rest of the video if you wanna see how my first week of Camp July Nano went. Hi everyone, I'm Ari. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm an aspiring author and I have a short story published that you could read linked in my website. I'm currently working on a fantasy novel titled Pretend the Earth Doesn't Call. I'm vlogging every day of Camp July Nano to track my progress of Pretend the Earth Doesn't Call, and I'm currently working on my dialogue first draft, which I like to call it a step up from a draft 0, but it's not quite yet a draft 1. Also, yes, PSA, this is Friday, Ari, because I did not film a good intro for my vlog, so please forgive me. Okay, so it's after work on Monday, July 1st. I'm gonna open my Scrivener. I am on scene 17 of my dialogue draft. I'm almost halfway. So usually I actually write at night. I'm a nighttime writer, and that's because if I work out, I have to work out in the morning, otherwise I'm like never gonna do it. So I usually finish work, I take the dogs out, I cook dinner, and then I sit down and I write for probably like 2 to 3 hours a night, I wanna say, and I'm usually pretty good about writing very consistently daily. So I'm gonna stick to that because that just really works for me and I love that little routine. So right now, it's time to, finish the day and get to write later. Morning. It's day 2 of Nano and day 2 of trying to vlog every single day of Nano. Work has not started yet. I did a little bit of yoga this morning to try to get some movement in. So I work from home, so I'm like literally sitting at my desk all day and I don't go anywhere, and I live in a giant room, so I gotta get a little exercise. But let's make a latte, maybe some breakfast, and then we're gonna try and get some words in. So I need some coffee. That's the stuff. Middle of the workday. I am just a little tired. That's okay. Yeah, just wanted to check in, and I wanted to show you my garden. I have so many tomatoes that are growing. I'm so excited. Okay, so it's day 2 of Nano. It's a beautiful day. I still have a little bit of work to do, but I don't want to do it. I work from home. I work fully remote. I love my job. I am so privileged that I get to do what I do, and I am so privileged that I get to work from home, which means that I don't have a commute and I have more time for things like exercise and cooking and writing and things like that. I'm gonna finish up what work I have left, and then we're gonna make a little charcuterie board. Then we're gonna write tonight. Let's check my Scrivener. I am officially on scene 18 of my dialogue first draft. And honestly, it's just like really rough right now. It does not feel good to write. It's like the middle third of Act 2 is so challenging for me. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. Why are you writing this? You're a terrible writer. This is a horrible project. You're wasting your time. And it is not productive self-talk whatsoever. I know it's just part of my process. Like, I think pretty much every writer can relate to just absolutely hating their project and thinking that it is absolutely horrible at one point. I just need to kind of get through it, but it's really hard to tell if all of that negativity and self-doubt is coming into play because it's just a natural part of the process, or if it's because it's signaling towards something that is actually a problem in the project, right? Like, how do you determine what's in your head and what's actually a problem? And I know that that's just a problem for betas, but right now, the way that it's feeling to write it, it feels like there's no conflict. It feels like the scenes are boring, and it feels like I'm building up to something big that has not been earned in any way. And that really worries me. I think I'm just gonna keep chugging through, but I think I need to beef up these like interpersonal interactions. I think I haven't fleshed out the character arcs well enough to figure out how the characters are going to clash. I think I need to do a little bit of character work to figure that out. Maybe that'll be my next video. Maybe I'll like go in and do some character arc work. The really tricky thing is it's really easy for me, like when I go in and I outline and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be the character's want. This is gonna be the character's lie. It's like then in practicality and like actually applying those things that you've then outlined, like how do you make them feel alive and how do you make it feel like you're not just a puppeteer? We're overthinking. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and you gotta write it. But that's just kind of like what I'm feeling right now with regard to the draft. And there's always a big chunk that just like doesn't feel very good. But when it feels good, it feels so good. And I do believe in the story and I do really love the story. I love hitting a flow state in writing, and I very rarely can hit a flow state if I write below 1,000 words. Like I need to write above 1,000 words to like hit that flow state, but the first 500 words most of the time it feels just like you're pulling teeth, you know? I gotta put a playlist on, I gotta get in the zone. It's gonna be good. What about you guys? Is there anything that you do that helps you get into a flow state? Comment down below, let me know. I'll show you my charcuterie board later, and then I'm going to write. And then I'll check in with you guys tomorrow morning on how my evening routine went. Look at this guy just waiting the whole time. And we got another gremlin right here. Okay, so we have our little dinner. We're gonna watch some TV and then I'll write for the rest of the night. I'll check in with you guys in the morning. Good morning. Not really good morning, but like good afternoon. So it is Wednesday, July 3rd, which means it is day 3 of Nano. And it has been going pretty well. Yesterday, I think I was feeling really down about my progress, but last night, Becca Tober, shout out to her. She had a live stream. Whatever like lo-fi rain sounds that she had playing in the background during her live stream, like unlocked something in my brain, and I wrote like 1,500 words. It was amazing. Every time I sit on the floor, Cooper's like, it's my time. You wanna come sit on my lap? You can come sit on my lap. I think everything that I was feeling yesterday morning about writing on Monday, I think I kind of figured it out because I think there just wasn't enough conflict. I went into the draft and I told a main character to start some shit. And he started some shit. And it was so juicy actually. And it was great because it brought up all of this backstory conflict too, but it created this really great tension for the midpoint because then the female and male main characters were mad at each other as the midpoint was happening. And one of them gets injured at the midpoint. And I realized that at that injury, it gave us the opportunity to go someplace. Now they're gonna go explore this like whole region and culture and area they weren't supposed to explore in like my prior version of the draft. So I'm actually really happy. It worked out, especially now that I'm like video cataloging everything. It's so funny how your thoughts and feelings about a project can change day to day. Yesterday, I very much was like, this project is dog shit. I should set it on fire. I should give up on all my hopes and dreams. and that happens. It's a very realistic and authentic part of the process. It feels crappy to feel like you're writing something bad. It does not feel good. And then literally the next day, you can be super happy with your progress and feel like you figured it out, you wrote some great scenes, and now you're super happy about it. And I think it's really helpful to see, and which is why I want to put it out there, just how much your feelings and thoughts on your project and your skill of the craft can change day to day. Because the truth is especially in this day and age, I feel like, you know, we have goals and we have long-term plans but we never really take into account the fact that we're humans and we're gonna wake up every single day and we're gonna feel a little bit different, whether that be physically, mentally, emotionally. A lot of the times we don't incorporate that fact into our long terms, like hopes and dreams and goals. But it is really important if you want to show up and be consistent in this craft to just like, sometimes you just have to meet yourself where you're at, and you're gonna have bad days and you're gonna have great days, but honestly, like, you're gonna have a lot of bad days. And so it's important, I feel, to show that and to be like really authentic about it. Like, I very often feel bad about writing or like my craft, even though I do enjoy it and I love it and I'm not gonna quit. But it can feel discouraging to feel like your project's a pile of dog shit that you want to set on fire, you know, like, but at the same time, like, I do really want to document that in this YouTube channel and just show very authentically, this is what it is to show up and meet yourself where you're at. And that's part of being an artist, and that's part of the process, and that's part of being self-critical too, which, you know, self-criticism, it's always a balance, right? Like, it can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing depending on the degree to which you're doing it. So today is a good day. I'm feeling good about it. We'll see how today's writing winds up going. Yesterday in the morning, I wasn't feeling super great about it, but like, look where we are now. And so it's really just like going through all those hills and valleys. So I am gonna finish work for the day. And my husband's gonna pick up some pizza because it's July 3rd, so I have off tomorrow. So it's kind of like a faux Friday night. Before he gets home, I'm gonna just try and get some words down, and then we'll probably watch a movie and I'll get some writing in then too. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow and tell you how the writing went. It feels really good for me when I write a lot because I think it allows me to connect with the characters and with the story a bit better when I'm able to make progress and I'm able to start the story and feel like it's moving and it's flowing. It just like, it feels better, and that emotional process for me about how it feels to write it, it's often really important because I think then if it feels good to write it, it often feels good to read it, though that can be deceiving. I'm gonna just try to write between 1,500 and 2,000 words a day, and we'll see how it goes. And I'm gonna keep vlogging every day. I really have been enjoying vlogging every day. And tomorrow, I think we might go to the pool a bit, but I'm gonna be writing. So work is done for the day. It is officially July 4th weekend, whatever. I'm working on Friday, so technically not, but like, we get a day off, which is very nice and exciting. So I am just going to get some words in right now before my husband gets home. And we take a little break for dinner, and then I'm gonna get some more words later. So enjoy the little writing montage. Hi everyone, it is July 4th, so it is day 4 of Nano, and I am here to give you my little update for the day. So writing last night went really well, as you saw in the vlog. I went out on my balcony, I lit some mosquito candles, and I wrote 1,000 words, a very solid amount that I'm super happy with. And I've just been really enjoying the draft at this point. Right now we're in this new area that I haven't discovered before. I didn't write about it in draft 0. It had kind of been a peripheral area, peripheral culture that I had never really gotten into in my drafting yet. I just started kind of like delving into it, and there's this like new character that I'm writing, and his name is Leo, and I'm just like, it's such a fun dynamic. It's so fun. So I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm trying to discovery write as best as I can. I'm excited to write a little bit later. We were supposed to go to the pool today because it is July 4th, but it actually wound up storming and being super gloomy. So we're having a really cozy day today, and I'll try to get some writing clips in for tonight, but I might not. And if that's the case, I'll just check in with you in the morning. So today it is Friday, July 5th, and it is the 5th day of Camp Nano. Last night I got about 500 words. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't push myself that hard last night. It was a day off, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of words this weekend, so I was not super unhappy with 500. And we're at this really fun scene right now where, if you remember earlier in the week, I mentioned that my female and male main characters got into a fight right before the midpoint. So now they're kind of gonna make up. So that's been a really fun scene to write. So I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you next week with more daily vlogs for Camp Nano.